Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's lesson. Let's go over today's lesson objective. So, today we will use the box method strategy to solve division problems. So, this is another strategy that we will use to do long division. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, our first vocabulary word is division. So, division is a process of taking a whole item or a set of items and splitting them up into equal groups. So remember, with division, everything has to be equal. We have to have the same amount in each group. All right, let's go ahead on to dividend. So dividend is the number that we will be divided up. So over here we have 8 pieces of pizza. That is our dividend. That is what we are dividing. In our problem, we have 8 pieces of pizza divided amongst 4 friends equals 2 pieces of pizza. So our pizza, is what we are dividing amongst our friends. All right, let's go ahead and go into a divisor. So divisor tells you how many pieces or groups to divide the dividend into. So in this case, our 4 is our divisor. That is how many groups we are dividing our 8 pizzas into, or 8 slices of pizza into. Okay, and let's go over quotient. So quotient is the answer after we divide one number by another. So in this case, the 2 is what our quotient is. That is how many pieces of pizza each group gets. All right, and last but not least, remainder. So sometimes with division, we don't have enough to divide everything into equal groups. So we'll have a remainder. We'll have an amount that's left over after division. So in this case, our 1 treat is our remainder because each of our puppies got 1, 2, 3 treats, but we don't have enough to give them this other one, right? So that is a remainder. It's what is left over. All right, let's get into our problem. So today we're going to find the quotient. We're going to find the answer of 723 divided by 5. And we're going to use the box method. So in order to use a box method, we need to first draw a box. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a box over here. And we're going to split our box up into 3 pieces because I have 1, 2, 3 digits, right? So I'm going to split up my box into however many digits I have in my dividend. So I have 723. Now I'm going to take each of my digits and put them into the place. So I'm going to put down my hundreds first, because that's my biggest place value, and put down 7 over there. And then I'm going to put down 2 to represent 20, and then put down 3 to represent 3. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to go ahead and put down our our divisor on the outside of the box, and that is 5. So that's how many groups we're going to separate everything into. Now I'm also going to go ahead and I am going to draw 723 to show you how the box method works. So I'm going to first draw 723 using base 10 blocks. So I'm going to draw a square to represent my hundreds, and I need 7 of those. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 hundreds. Okay. Now I need to draw 2 tens. I'm going to represent those with a line. So I have 10, 20. So I have 2 tens. And then I have 5 ones. So I'm going to represent those with 5 dots. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I went ahead and I represented 723 with base 10 blocks. I'm also going to draw 5 big circles to represent my divisor of 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 5 right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing I have to do is I have to look at my 700s and figure out how many hundreds can I divide into 5 groups. I have 700s. How many of those can I put into each group of 5? So what I have is I have my 700s. So I'm going to go ahead and draw them out. So I have 100 here. I'm going to go ahead and X them out as I do that. 200s, 300s, 400s, and 500s, right? So I put in 100 in each of my groups. I have 200s left over. That is not going to be enough for me to give each of my groups an equal amount. So I have 200s left over. So I am going to go look at my group now and see how many hundreds do I have in each group. Okay, so I have 100 in each group. So altogether, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundreds. So I'm put down, I used 5 hundreds. Now I'm going to subtract it. And I have 200s left over. That's what we see right here. I have 200s left over. Okay, now that I've done that, I am going to go ahead and figure out, okay, what can I do with these 200s? Well, I can't use them as hundreds, but what I can do is I can break them into 10 tens because I know that 100 is equal to 10 tens. So I'm going to break this 100 into 10 tens. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to break this 100 into 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now all together, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I have 22 tens altogether. Now, these 200s are no longer hundreds, they're actually tens. So I'm going to take this 2, I'm going to move it over, and now this 2 turns into 22 because I have 22 tens. Now I have to see how many times can I split 22 into 5 groups. Let's go ahead and do that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, I do not have enough to give each one of my groups the same number of tens. So what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is I am going to erase these, right? Because that was one extra. And so now I'm going to look at my group and see how many tens do I have. I have 3. I had 1, 2, 3, 4 tens in one group. Okay. And now I got to figure out how many tens did I use. So I have 4 tens in each group. 4 tens in each group. Right? Ooh, I forgot one right here. And so how many tens did I use? I used 4 plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12, plus another 4 is 16, plus another 4 is 20. So I used 20 of my tens. So now we've got to go ahead. So I use these 10 and I use those 10. Now I have to subtract and see how much do I have left over. I have 2 left over, right? Because 2 minus 0 is 2, and then 2 minus 0 is 0. So I have 2 tens left over. That's what we see over here. Now, just like with our hundreds, we can break our tens, right? So we're going to go ahead and break our tens into 10 ones because 10 ones equals 110. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to break this 1 into 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to break this 10 into 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now again, these tens are no longer tens. They are ones now. So we're going to take this 2 and move it to the ones. And we have 23 ones now. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I did this wrong. All right. So we had 23 ones. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I put down 5 there. All right. So let's go ahead and get it started with that. So now let's divide that up. So how many times can 23 be divided into 5 groups? Let's find out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and get rid of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's two groups. 3, 4, 5. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another group. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I have 3 left over. That's not enough to split into 5 groups. So I think we have to stop there, right? So now let's go ahead and look at how many ones do we have in each group. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put down 4 at the top. And now we have to figure out how many of those ones did we use. So 4 times 5 is 20. We're going to subtract that. And so what we have left over is 3, right? So we have 3 right here as our remainder. We don't have another place value to put it over, so we're actually going to go ahead and take this up over here, and we have a remainder of 3. Okay, all right, so we know that 723 divided by 5 gives us a quotient of 144 with a remainder of 3. All right, fantastic. Let's go over our lesson objective. So our lesson objective for today is we use the box method strategy to solve division problems. All right, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.